Hey everyone, it's Keely here, and today I'm sharing a layout and process video for Aardvark Gifts and Crafts, and I'm using Hearth and Home by Simple Stories. I've been using this collection now for quite a few weeks. I'm really enjoying working with it, and I mentioned in other videos using this collection how I feel like the colours of this collection really match the colours of my cats. So I've got another photo today of my youngest cat, Moxie, and I think she was still quite young on this photo. She definitely was still a young kitten on this photograph, and she's all snuggled up in a ball, looking adorable, fast asleep. And I've got quite a few photographs of her all cute and snuggly, and I definitely want them in my album because of the fact that this is what she was like when she was younger. Now she's a lot more boisterous. She doesn't like to kind of just lay there and snuggle. She'd rather play and attack you. But at this time she was very snuggly. And it's just a really adorable photo of her, and I just love the taupey colouring. I just think this is such a beautiful colour. So what I've used on my background so far is I've cut a rectangle of wood grain paper, and this is going to be kind of the background of my layout. And I've seen online quite a few scrapbook layouts in this kind of style. I was kind of scanning through Pinterest before I started creating this layout, and this kind of design definitely stood out quite a lot. So I thought I'd give it a go. So I've got this photograph of my cat Moxie as a kitten, and I'm now cutting through one of the pattern papers that have got these beautiful florals on, and I'm just cutting out the blue ones at the moment. I do bring in some other ones shortly, but at first I thought I was going to kind of stick with mainly this colour palette of this kind of tealy blue, pops of black and white, and maybe a little bit of yellow. But it does take a little bit of a change. Same colour scheme really as I just mentioned, but there's definitely going to be more yellow on the page. And I do bring in just a few little pops of the burnt orange. So I've had a flick through the die cuts, and I've pulled out a couple that I think may work for this page. I've cut out some of the florals to fussy cut, and I'm now having a look at the titles because I want to use on this layout some of these foam embellishments, some of the titles. I haven't really used many of the foam titles yet, so I definitely want to focus on using some of those because I do struggle with the foam titles from Simple Stories just because they are quite large, but in this pack they do have some smaller ones as well which are a little bit easier to use. But I do find that with these sort of titles I'll use the collection and it comes to the end and I have lots left, so I definitely want to try and focus on some of those in my next couple of layouts with this collection, as well as the chipboard as well, because there's some quite large pieces of chipboard, so I definitely want to use some of those up. But on this layout I'm mainly focusing on some of those foam pieces. So I've started layering things in. I thought I was going to use this Stay a While as my title. I think it works well with the story. She's snuggling, and you know, when they're all snuggly on your knee and you just want them to stay there and you're scared to move in case they jump off. So I thought that worked quite well. I don't end up using it in the end. I do find a different title that I feel like works better for this layout. So I'm just layering things in, seeing what kind of works, getting a bit of a rough idea of how I want this page to go. I quite like this cluster that I've got starting in the bottom corner of my layout. So that does make it onto this page, although I think I do take the little house off. I don't think that one makes it on, but I do like the little kind of tag that's down there. It says, there is nothing like staying home for real comfort, and I think that works really well for a photo of a cat, especially this one. She'll be 2 in March. and she's not really keen on the outdoors. She'll go into the back a little bit, but then if the door shuts, she wants to come back in. She doesn't like it with the door closed. So she's definitely more of an indoor cat, where my other cat is a lot more adventurous, and she will go and explore a little bit more. But they've got completely different personalities, even though they look very similar. And they do have some similar traits. They're both quite feisty little things. But yeah, she's definitely a little bit more of a wimp, I'd say. She definitely finds more comfort of being in the house than she does being outside. So I've pulled in this title instead, which reads Home, and it's got that gorgeous floral print on it that runs through this collection. And this is where I decide I'm going to bring in some of the yellow florals from this pattern paper, just to tie it in with the title. It's got the blues and the yellow on there, a few little pops of the red, so that's why I bring in some red later, but I'm going to focus mainly on those yellow and the blue florals. So I'm just adding those in. I did take the blue ones off, because I thought, well, I won't use them ones, I'll just use the yellow ones, but I do end up bringing them back in. So I do faff quite a bit with this one, just trying to get my clusters right, and you know, seeing what works better for me. I'm trying a different title there now, so it did take me a while to kind of make those final decisions and go, oh yeah, this is how I want this layout to be. I do come back with the home title because I just felt it really worked for this page. Having the kind of light wood grain on the background, it helps tie in the colours, I think, of Moxie, because she's kind of got that light colouring as well as the dark, so it brings that light and dark, and I really like the look of that. Bringing in those blue florals again now and just putting them in place of where I want them to go. I have started working on the top cluster, but that does change. I'm just testing things out at the moment. My florals also aren't fussy cut out fully. I have just cut round them, putting them in place, and I do this because it kind of gives me an idea of what I'm going to use, so I don't waste all my time fussy cutting out things that I won't actually use on the page. So even though it doesn't look as nice right now, it will once they're fussy cut out. It does look lovely. So now I'm just trying out a few more pieces to see what will work on here. I'm bringing in some of the form word phrases. They've got some little word phrases on there. Also bringing in some of the sticker phrases too, just to see what may work. And just testing a few things out really. I found this one that says love much, and again it brings in some of that dark onto the page, which I felt like it really needed. And I do find another one to add under my title, which says bless our mess, and this little kitty is quite mischievous and she does make a lot of mess, especially when she's using a litter tray and she flicks it all over the place. So yeah, she does make a lot of mess. So yeah, I'm just trying something else in the top cluster now. I felt like it was looking a little bit too bulky. So I decided just to go for the florals and the word instead. And then I do bring in a few tiny little sprinkly bits at the end. So now I've kind of got a rough idea of where I want this page to go. I'm going to start committing and sticking things down, starting with my pattern paper on the background. And I'm going to distress the edges because I really like how that looks, and it just adds another texture to the page. And now I've come back and I've just wanted to show you that I'd fussy cut those florals out now, laid everything back in place, and you can see now how it does look really nice all together. Those blues and yellows look lovely together. And now I'm going to start committing to sticking things down. I did pull out one of the cut apart tags and I went for this black and white check, and it's got a yellow hole reinforcer, which again ties in really well with the page and the colours that I've used. I am going to map my photo. I thought I was going to use the yellow, and then I decided to use that same floral print that is on the word home. Everything is now stuck down. I did all that off camera. I didn't feel like you needed to watch me stick everything down in place. And now I'm going to come in with some gold mist from, it's Jen Hadfield Gold Mist, and that's from my stash. And that just adds a nice little bit of sparkle around the page, and it just adds a little bit of something to that wood grain as well. So here is my finished page. I've added the links to Aardvark Gifts and Crafts in the description below. And I don't think I've got another video now till after Christmas, so I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a fantastic time whatever you are doing. Thank you for watching. Bye.